welcome back to Evil Popcorn. This is an official episode. Yes, we're doing a movie, a brand new movie in more ways than one. But before we get into all of that, yes, we'll introduce ourselves, of course. I am Mr. Popcorn, keeping it buttery, and to my screen left.
I am the Baron, keeping it crunchy.
And last but not least,
I'm Scream Queen, and I'm keeping it slow. I'm keeping it real
nice.
slow.
Yeah, people, we are doing a movie called Slotherhouse. Yes, for those who know, who have heard about it, yes. We got given a screener. We got to see it early, and we were more than chuffed. And so we must thank Holdfast Public Relations, who are the distribution company who spread this film around USA, UK, Canada, and Australia. And for some reason, somehow, they approached us. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you. And check their stuff out. Just go to holdfastpublicrelations.com. They've distributed some nice horrors there. The New Wrong Turn, basically throughout the Commonwealth and the USA. And also I want to shout out and
Lovely.
also
Didn't know that.
and also
I
shout
watched
out,
that. It was good.
so I heard they also distributed Spree, which I was a fan of, which is a nice social media horror, a really berserk one. that one's off the chain. It's nuts. Really liked it. So thank you kindly. Okay. First of all, before I go into the details on my notes here, general impressions. Baron, what did you think in a nutshell?
I really loved it. I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
Really?
It seemed to be targeted directly at me.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
It was made for you. It should be called Slotherhouse.
Slotherhouse. Yeah.
Slotherhouse. I loved it. I just thought it was so much fun. Like, I just love a silly, campy horror movie. I really do. And the sloth, the titular sloth.
Amazing.
I love her. I love her. I'm her biggest fan.
Beautiful puppetry work, beautiful puppet work. Yes, that's a big gold star automatically.
Yeah, I think they had five puppeteers or something.
Okay. I didn't know that. Does
a
anyone
number
have
of
any information on the puppetry itself? Just beyond the five puppeteers. Scott, did you find anything on that?
No, nothing in particular, but I did one of my very first note that I took down was good puppet.
The great puppet.
Yeah.
I think I said, if this is what I imagine it would be like if Jim Henson did horror movies.
Yeah, my wife made exactly the same comment when she was watching over my shoulder.
Yeah, if Jim Henson teamed up with Tina Fey, who did Mean Girls, which was an inspiration behind this film.
Yeah.
It meets Happy Death Day with a touch of Gremlins. Those were the film inspos behind this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I see that.
And I like all these little strings, these red strings in our pod being attached. Yes, with Gremlins, with Spree. Yeah, it's nice. I was blown away by it. I was utterly surprised. Not what I expected at all. Much more than I thought it was going to be. And the sloth kind of rules. Yeah, the sloth kind of rules.
Alpha is amazing.
My favorite character in the whole thing. I'll say that out the gate.
I mean, easily. Easily.
Yes. Yeah.
Yards above the rest.
Okay. So, Slotherhouse is brand new. Yes, it came out August the 30th, 2023.
Hang on. We should say spoilers.
Yes, okay, thank you. Go nuts.
Watch it and then come back and listen to this, but still listen to this.
Where can they watch it, Baron? Because you posted that, yeah?
At the moment, it is available in Australia on Apple, Amazon, and Google, the big three evil. So the big three evil have got the horror movie. I'm not sure.
Please, sorry, continue.
I was going to say, not sure where it's going to be when it's more widely available, but yeah.
And hey, I'll speak for just myself, you know, not my cohorts here. Do what you need to do to see the film. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an indie film, spread it out there. But definitely, you know, if you can contribute, definitely contribute. But I'm just speaking for me. Now, yes, so do that. Thank you for reminding me there, Baron. Now, Slotherhouse. Comedy horror released August 30, 2023. Now, it's directed by Matthew Goodhue and written by Bradley Fowler and Katie Lanigan. The concept, Bradley Fowler wanted to come up with the dumbest idea possible. This is our starting off point, our launching
that
off
is
point
the
in
best
the meeting.
way.
Yeah.
The best way to start a concept is to be like, what's the stupidest thing I can possibly come up with?
Love it, love it. Now, Katie describes the concept as Mean Girls, Happy Death Day with a touch of Gremlins. Look to classic horror films and their use of practical effects to create the sloth. Thank you for doing that. And I like that's becoming more and more of not just a thing, it's becoming a standard again. Yeah, that's yeah, absolutely. Couldn't be more happier with that. The film was released by Gravitas Ventures and Regal Cinemas theaters in the United States. On review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, 56% of 18 critics reviews are positive, with an average rating of 5.6 out of 10. This film is still very new. Yeah, it's only like in the past couple of days have I been able to find stuff online and stuff on YouTube to look at, pretty much. Yeah. It is that new. The film has a mixed overall. The film has a mixed responses overall, from lots of fun to a tonal mess with a puppet that cannot justify such a thin premise. Yeah, these I'm quoting. Yeah, from reviews online. Those couple of last lines there. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go back to that there, Screen Queen. Now, trivia. Creating Alpha, the furry Chucky. Yes, he's quoted, you know, he's referred to as, like a furry Chucky. This movie.
There was a quote. There was a quote in the film where they, I think they referred to.
She's like a cute Chucky.
Yeah, that's the word.
She's like a cute Chucky was the exact quote.
And hey, who says Chucky ain't cute? Hey,
exactly.
Look, I have the beholder.
I have the beholder. Exactly. Now, our sloth was voiced by a Finnish voice artist. I'll save that. I'll save the actual name. Our sloth was voiced by Finnish voice artist Rudy Rock. Saw a little video. There was a Hulu promo because, yes, America, it's available on Hulu to stream now. And and wanted to create. It was quite funny watching it because they're talking about the nuances, the depth of character, the motivations behind the sloth, and one I was really serious about it, but also really, really good. Yeah, when you actually see him doing all the sloth sounds, it's actually really, really impressive. Never heard of him before.
Yeah.
Because this film is quite unique in its production because it was actually shot in Serbia. Yeah, the director. Let's not jump too far with the info here. Now, Cody and Brad sourced funding before director Matthew Goodhue was brought in. Haven't heard of him before. I want to watch his first film. It's called Woe, as in Woe is Me, and it's a real dark, heavy man alone in the rural setting type psychological devastation horror. Yeah. So I'm quite curious about that, and it's interesting he jumped from that to that. But he said it was a definite palate cleanser. He appreciated the opportunity to work in Serbia. Producer Mark David set that up, who also shot the film. It was edited by Mike Mendez and Matthew Goodhue himself. Running time of 93 minutes, nice, and which is the right amount of time for this sort of film. Absolutely. Most of the production crew were from the new Hellraiser movie because they had just finished shooting in Serbia, the new Hellraiser movie. And they actually filmed in the same location.
Oh, right.
Which I thought was quite wild. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm guessing then that the sorority house becomes some sort of mansion or
the
for
rich
a rich
guy's
person
mansion.
or something.
The rich guy's mansion. Yeah. Do you remember the fountain scene? We saw the fountain outside. Yeah, it's the same place. Yeah.
That's so
right. That's why it was familiar.
Okay. Yeah, no, it was wild. And they also found it from going from, blood and guts and
Yes.
hellfire
All
to shooting lighting a 1.5 sloth. Yeah. Am I coming through okay?
Yeah.
Breaking up a little bit,
Yeah,
but otherwise
just
good.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that was cool. Now, Bradley wrote the screenplay, and he and Katie had been working on the film for 7 years. Yeah, so it's definitely a passion project. The social media element was written into the script. Goodhue did not want the way to use it, I should say, the way to represent it on screen, because Goodhue did not want people looking at their screens for the whole movie, hence the overlays. I'll throw it out there now before we go into the plot. There is a lot of, so there's social media messaging is the point, like looking at social media, critiquing it. But there's also a lot of social media use, if you will, in the form of overlays on the screen, text, etc., and cool bubbles, etc. What did you guys think of that in the film, and what's your opinion on that in general? Don't have to go too deep, but what do you reckon?
Well, I mean, it's something I always look for, the way that social media is represented in any movie, because when, you have the like looking at the screen, like seeing that, or like reading the text aloud, like like it's just, it can be really like gimmicky and like just like uncanny valley of just like, this is really how people use social media. But I think the overlays were super successful. Like, I just like, you can get information quickly. Like, it's also fun and a little bit silly. Like, especially the little like character briefs that you like, the Instagram bios that they had.
Yeah, they
I
were
thought
kind of
was
cool.
really clever.
That was
And
a
like
good
they're
use of
satirical.
exposition.
They were really funny. Like I think the house mother, hers was like age dysmorphia. Which I thought was really fun. Like, so I just enjoyed it. It's just like a really nice way to get exposition like out there and like establish like a key theme of the movie without being too like the whole time. You know what I mean? Just I just found it really, it's just a really smart, quick, easy way to do this social media thing.
I did put a note that said I like the AR screens. So the augmented reality of being able to see the screens outside of the screens was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it didn't take you out of the film, because you weren't being forced to get unnecessary exposition, as you said, Scream Queen, where they read out the texts or you hear it in the voice over the thing. Like, it's all happening at the same time. So you're not being forced to look at something longer than you have to, that takes you out of the story.
Yeah.
Nicely put. No, I thought it was well done. Good use of exposition. Good way to use exposition. AR. That's nicely put. Except the love hearts over the head, yes, to show popularity and that sort of thing. Pushed it a little too far, and there are a couple of things that is pushed too far. Hence, someone talking about the tonal mess. I wouldn't say mess, but tonal discrepancy, maybe. But I'll get into that. I'll get into that. Yeah.
I think the
please.
fact that it was PG-13 kind of hurt the film.
I think that rating hurts all horror films. But go ahead.
I totally, I mean, I had a similar issue with the Five Nights at Freddy movie that recently came out. Like,
please.
I think that movie is maybe, no, it is PG. It's PG. And I just think it's really limiting. And I get that they want things to be accessible, but I feel like a film like this doesn't really need to be accessible to children, because I feel like they're not going to watch it anyway.
What is the rating of this? Do we know?
It was PG-13.
Sorry, my bad. Blank PG-13. Yeah.
I would like
That's really
to
interesting.
see an unrated edition of it.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah.
Like an R.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because just thinking Freddy's could have been an R, you know what I mean? The fan base is old enough from when they were kids to go see, the adult movies now. Yeah, and that's what they were after. They were after the jump scares, but in adult form.
And the gore.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Now, where was I up to? Yes, was written into the movie. Always blah blah blah. Hence for Chucky. The social media element was written into the script. Didn't want them looking at the screen. He looked to films such as Tragedy Girls on how to do this. I haven't seen Tragedy Girls.
No.
But apparently
No.
that's where he got not a lot of his ideas, but he was inspired by, the representation of social media on a film screen. Spree does it very well as well. Yeah, Spree does it very well. Without spoilers, there's 3 live streams on the screen in vertical mode, and then you lose touch of reality, basically, of who's seeing what you're meant to be looking at. It becomes pure madness. Yeah, there are cool ways to do it. I'm not completely anti it, but as you pointed out at the start, the Scream Queen, don't make it gimmicky.
Yeah, because it's a line. It's a very skinny little line between gimmicky and like effective, I think.
Because at the end of the day, if you're going to do a contemporary film, let alone horror, it's going to have the question of how to address smart technology in general is going to come up. Yeah,
I respect the decision some films make it to just like X out technology completely.
Yeah.
When they just make the call to just be like, this exists in like a dimension of time where it's old but it's present, and we just don't have phones. I'm just like that's just easy. I respect it.
Like setting it in the 80s. Stranger Things. Yeah, exactly. All right, now just bring up my plot walkthrough here. Is there anything anyone else wants to bring up? Any information, thoughts before we go into it?
I liked the opening, but obviously it gave us no exposition about what's happened with the sloth. Why is the sloth like this? How is it able to kill a crocodile
And
in
that
the
shit don't
opening
change.
scene?
I don't need to know.
Well, let's
I'm
get
just
into
glad.
the opening scene, because that's what I've got here. I start right at the beginning. And
actually, hang on before you do,
go.
I do have a crypto psychology corner. So you're just letting you know the Barrett's
yes.
crypto psychology corner. So yeah.
Do you want to do that after?
Yeah, after.
Okay, cool, brilliant. Thank you. Okay.
So good.
Now our film opens to an aerial shot of the, if I'm pronouncing correctly, Darien Gap of the Panama jungle. Yeah. And we meet our furry sloth friend chilling out on a tree branch. And anytime you want to jump in, please do. Chilling out on a tree branch overhanging a murky river. Next moment, Sloth is snatched into the water by an unseen assailant. Sloth emerges from the depths and screams a blood-curdling cry.
Blood-curdling is right.
Yeah.
It was horrific. It was horrific.
Unexpected too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first
Because
notion
who knows
you get.
what sloths sound like?
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, what does sloths sound like? I don't know.
And what is
back
a
in the
sloth
day,
killing in the
friend
water?
of mine and I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Back in the day, a friend of mine and I used to talk about editing videos off the internet of things being unexpectedly eaten. And this really harked back to that. So like it would be, monkey in a tree, there's a crocodile in the river, then all of a sudden a hippo eats the crocodile. And that's kind of the feeling I got from this, where it's like, oh, sloth in a tree gets grabbed by a crocodile, suddenly the crocodile's dead. Oh, that really grabbed my attention.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Blood-curdling cry. And now poachers appear and shoot the sloth with a tranquilizer dart.
Yes.
Now, the beast from the water emerges, which turns out to be a giant crocodile. It's a crocodile, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And death rolls onto its belly, revealing 3 giant, and I mean this croc's 12 meters long.
Very big.
Claw marks, yes. Our sloth has claimed its first victim. I didn't time code it, but a couple of minutes.
That reveal like truly shocked me. I was like, because you see the croc just float up out of the water as crocodiles do, and then the slow turnover, incredible. Groundbreaking cinema. Like
absolutely.
That was huge for me. I was shocked.
It's very much buckle up, Strap in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is what you're in for.
Then we have credits, Slotherhouse, black background, red lighting illuminating the font with 3 claw marks down the center. Pretty cool. I couldn't find a budget on this.
Yeah.
Did anyone else?
If you hadn't.
No.
No, couldn't find a budget.
I had a look too, and I couldn't see it.
It's not a blockbuster. Let's just say that. So, yeah, well done for what the means that they have. Certainly, because that croc was pretty. I wasn't there going, oh, that's a fake croc. Actually, now that I think about it, no, not at all. Yeah. Anyway, we then see our protagonist, if you will, Emily. Now, pronunciation is not my forte. Lisa Ambler Venin, and her bestie Medicine, Olivia Rouer. Again, look them up if you want the spelling. 2 college friends discussing. Please.
Oh, sorry. She's just like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm a little bit, maybe a little touch too old to be like really with it, but I'm pretty sure Olivia, who plays the friend, the main character's best friend, she was like sort of an influencer. I mean, I've seen her in other stuff. I think she's a great actress, actually. But she's like, I think she started on YouTube. Like, I think she's a huge like YouTube influencer, which I think is interesting.
That is. Yeah, adds an extra kind of meta layer, if you will. And she's probably, no shade on anyone else, probably the best actor in this piece.
Absolutely.
Medicine. Yeah,
other than the sloth.
Other than the sloth.
Very important distinction.
Okay, yes. They're 2 college friends discussing the current sorority president. The current sorority president, Brianna, played by Sydney Craven, and the falsity of social media fame. Now, Emily then saves a small runaway dog from careening with a kid on a speeding toy vehicle. They're in a mall. Yeah, they're in a mall. She then meets the mysterious and charming Oliver, played by Stefan anyone?
Kapichik.
Thank you.
Kapichik.
I need to Google the pronunciations before the show. Sorry, go ahead.
I've met him.
What?
I've met him.
Exotic. You've met Exotic.
Yes, he's also the voice and body actor for Colossus in the Deadpool films.
Oh.
Wow. Spank me and call me Sally. Did not know. Okie dokie.
Yeah. He really liked my Russian accent. So yeah, but yeah, no, he really liked my Russian accent. He said it was very good. So yeah.
Wow.
Cool. Thank you.
Flex.
Love it. Yeah, love it. Okay, so and Exotic, I'm just going to throw out references as they come up here. Anyone else do the same? I mean, obviously Tiger Belly.
Oh, Joe Exotic. I just put that together now.
Yeah.
This part, like this origin or like this sort of inciting incident to begin what is going to be the rest of the film is insane. Like in an amazing way. It is crazy. I was like, this is the exotic animal equivalent of being scouted like by like a model scout like at the mall like as like a teenager. Like I feel like there's so many people I hear, they're just like, oh, someone came up to me at the mall and was like, you should sign up to my modeling. Like that is what the equivalent of this is, being like, oh yeah, like I have a sloth.
Yeah, this movie's Betty. This movie is better because I mean that what you're touching on, it gets worse. Yeah, as we both all know, it gets so much worse.
Yeah, there's one particular line. I think Oh Exotic says it to the main character. What is the name of the main character? I should know this.
Emily.
Is it
Emily?
Emily. Okay. He says to her, sometimes you just need one spark. Something that sets you apart. Something that sets you apart. And you know what that spark is going to be? It's going to be a sloth. It's going to be a sloth. Obviously, it would be a sloth.
Obviously.
What else would it be? I just love that.
If I see Kylie Jenner with a sloth in the future. Okay. Yeah, oh exotic. Then sells M on the idea of a pet sloth, as they make great pets. Yeah.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
and
that's well known.
these wild exotic animals that need to exist in a very specific ecoclimate in a specific part of the world.
Yeah.
Make great pets, and their abilities are largely misunderstood. Let's keep that in mind.
They're
Their
faster than you
abilities
think.
faster than you think, absolutely. We are then introduced to current sorority president Brianna, arriving home from overseas clout chasing. Yeah, is what she does. Yes, because she can go see whatever exotic animal and have the perfect selfie with the animal that she wants whenever she wants. Hey, and that's how she keeps her numbers up. That's one of the big ways she keeps her numbers up.
It's clear from the beginning of the film that Emily is sort of obsessed with keeping tabs on what Brianna is doing.
Yeah.
And she's clearly very jealous of the fact that like she's living this sort of lavish life and she's like getting all this attention and she's the president. That's like a very important thing to Emily, is like to have what Brianna has.
But not from a power-hungry place, yeah, because Em is presented as a nice person. She just doesn't know herself. She doesn't believe in herself, yeah? And
naive.
Mads is trying to convince her to believe in herself. Yeah, she doesn't need all the numbers and the buttons and the stuff. Yeah. Now, out the gate, Brianna is all about the upcoming election. Like, this is how she's presented in the film. She is a mean girl, aka bitch. Yeah, she is Queen Bitch.
Queen. Yeah.
Yeah. And Sydney Craven, if I got the name from before, does a good job. Very convincing.
Not related to Wes Craven. Just by the way, I did Google it because I was curious.
Okay, yeah, that would have been so cool.
But I was like, oh, but no, alas. No,
yeah, that would have been cool. We then meet a bunch of sorority members inside, including Dakota, played by Bianca Beckless Rose, who I read this somewhere. I'm sure I'm not making this up. Or I heard it somewhere. Yes, I heard it somewhere on a podcast. Yes, I need to shout out the podcast. I will do that by the end. The Ghoul Sisters. Yes, that's them. The Ghoul Sisters. Check them out. Who joined the sorority on a dare. Now, I'll start with Baron. I want to finish with you here, Scream Queen, because I got a hunch. Yeah. Okay. What did you think of Dakota?
Okay, let me bring up a picture because I have a more of a visual memory.
Okay, please. Yeah, if you want to share screen at any time, I'm eventually going to start getting,
No, I've just got IMDb open on the other screen. That's all. Dakota. Anna Maria Serda. Now, her friend was Madison, wasn't it? It wasn't Dakota. Hang on.
Oh.
I got it around the wrong way.
So I do have it around the wrong way.
No, do I have it around the wrong way?
The friends is Mads, yeah? Olivia.
Yeah, her friend's Madison. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Dakota is the sort of...
Oh, she was the one that
boisterous.
This... Yeah.
One.
A little bit OTT, a little bit over the top.
All right, okay.
That's being kind.
Okay. Starting, I'm just gonna get straight out of the gate here.
I'm putting you on the spot. I do admit, yeah, because this is about gender, yeah.
Yes, this character was the main letdown of this film to me.
Okay, I had a hunch. Yeah.
It's probably like one of the things that I found to be it's just something that really ground my gears. I like everything else I can sort of forgive because I think it's hilarious and so fun, but I think every time this character appeared on screen, I just like got enraged.
Okay.
And it's like I get the stereotype, I do, but my assumption is,
what is the stereotype?
I think this is supposed to be the sort of masculine lesbian token gay character. It's the token queer character of the sorority. I get it, sorry.
And they've been shoehorned into the comedy sidekick role.
Yes. Why? Who knows?
And
but
the way, I mean, this is no shade. I'm not putting shade on the actor.
No,
Yeah. But the way that let's just say it was written. Let's take everyone at their word. Um, the character was shown as very much like a bro who almost pretends to be not straight to score chicks in the sorority. That's
the sort of thing. It was
that
very
was
broy.
That's virtually my reading of it, almost my complete reading of it.
I found it very jarring, and it's like the character also had great moments, but like I want to say that like
funny
some awesome
character.
moments,
Yeah,
but it was a lot, and I think that I took issue with like the stereotyping of like I just think if you're going to have the funny sort of token gay character, it needs to be more clever. Personally, just because I think that it could be falling into sort of some like harmful stereotypes that I think that we're just like way past.
And the whole predator,
the shower thing.
I'm not jumping ahead,
like,
but you know the moths to the flame at the pool. The trust showers. You know, there was moments going.
The trust showers where she was like, "Ooh, can't wait for the trust showers." I'm like, okay, we get it. Like we know. Like look at her. We know that she's a lesbian. We can just move past it, and it can just be silly.
That was highlighted a little too much.
I think that was my one. My one like major letdown of the film, I think, was that character. I'll just say that. But it wasn't just like, it wasn't the worst, most awful thing I've ever seen. It was just against the backdrop of everything else going in this film, it felt really jarring to me.
I can see that.
Baron.
I wasn't as taken out of the film by where we're we looking, Anna Maria's performance, because I was expecting a comedy sidekick at that point. The one thing, and this is no shade on Tiff Stevenson's performance as the house mother, but every time I saw her, I thought, oh, you guys couldn't afford Jennifer Coolidge.
Remind me of Jennifer Coolidge. Who was that again?
Stifler's mum from the American Pie films.
Totally.
And that may have been a direction thing. I'm not sure, but just that was, I was more taken out of the film by that character than the comedy sidekick.
I really liked that character.
You know who I didn't like?
Don't get me wrong. I liked her, but it just, my brain was just a little tweaked every time she appeared.
Fair.
You know who I didn't like? I guess, but I see the point in the film of him, definitely. But Tyler,
boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it right now. I don't see the point of Tyler.
Nah, except won't spoil it yet. Won't spoil it yet. Except for his line at the very, very end.
Oh yeah.
We'll save that. Yeah. But no, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
That's the
as well. Yeah. But to all involved with Slotherhouse, we love the film. Yeah.
Yes.
But we're going to promote it by saying how much we do love it, but we're going to critique it at the same time because it's a two-way conversation because we all want better films at the end of the day. Yeah. Just speaking for you to popcorn there. Yeah. Okay, now where's my notes? Sorry, they've gone off the screen. Give me a sec. Okay, so and now we go, where are we up to? Sorry.
Oh, exotic.
That's right. Yes, make a great pet. Yep. Out the gate. Yeah. No, on a dare. Yes, of course. Yes. Now, also of note, we meet House Mother, played by Tiff Stevenson. Yep. So we've discussed her a bit, but we'll go into her more later. M is put out by Bree's worker ants, activities of business until Madison points out that they have spelled president by spelling it Presadent wrong on the propaganda material. Of course they did. Now, M desperately wants to become president. Yeah, that's the whole point of the start here. And break Bree's streak before it becomes, for the first time, 3 years in a row. So, yeah. Bree's going for the hat trick. Em believes that followers on socials is the way to do this. Em and house mother then discuss Em's mum and what she was like as house president. Yeah, so there's a bit of a lineage here at the sorority. And Baron, please, what is the name of the sorority?
It was, I wrote it down because of the pun.
Yes. Give us a moment
Sigma.
there.
Oh, hang on.
Give us a moment there, children, on the popcorn. Yes, I should have pre-warned, but we're learning as we go.
I should have put it in my notes, but I didn't. Sigma Lambda Theta, which spells Sloth.
Yeah. Which I did not get.
I did not get it either. It went completely over my head. But
Which they chant in their cult-like
Yeah.
sorority ways and frat-like ways that these people do with their ancient Greek references. I don't get frats and sororities. I'm glad I didn't grow up with them.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. The perfect setting for a horror.
Yeah. Because if we wanted to make a serious horror film, put it in a male frat. Yeah.
There's also a number. There's a number of characters in the film as well whose names hark back to Disney princesses, Mean Girls, all of that sort of thing. Like all the names seem to have meaning.
Yeah. References.
It's very well thought out. Like knowing now that it took them 7 years to sort of incubate this movie.
Ruminate,
like,
incubate.
It very much, like, the attention to detail is very nice. Very, very nice.
Word. Now, house mother convinces Em to run for president, which is overheard by one of Bree's droogs. You know what I mean when I say droogs? Yep. We then see
ultra-violence.
Yes, exactly. We then see Exotic at home with the sloth. Now, if you because I haven't written out everything, so if you want to jump in with anything, please do. It's a little truncated here and there for brevity. He wonders and asks Sloth what would happen if it doesn't get its pills. Ominous music and lightning.
How do they know?
Pills?
How do they know that the sloth needs anxiety medication?
Who prescribed the pills?
Life in 2023. The Panama Canal can be rough.
Was he carrying the pills around with him in a little pocket, in a little bag in the forest?
Look.
I mean, no, obviously he was sort of just going for it. We know from that crocodile experience he was not medicated.
No.
I mean, there is the poachers. They could have been looking after the sloth, putting a tag on it to monitor it. And then this guy, Exotic, is a trafficker of wild animals. That's actually what he is.
Yeah. The timeline, he could have had this sloth for, a while, I guess. But I feel like he hasn't. Otherwise he'd be dead.
The editing, the temporal logic of this film, Baron, you'll know what I mean. It's like Monkey, watching the old Monkey show. You know what I mean? Yeah. We go on a great adventure. Here we are at our destination. Remember there's an incident with a car. Boom. Next moment, ambulance.
Travel at the speed of plot.
So the logic is kind of like that in this film, too.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about the logic. Like I don't. Like you could nitpick time and blah, but and where the pills come from. But I love a little movie where some things are just you can just ignore. Some things you just don't have to worry about. You don't have to think about it too hard.
I mean, it starts off with the sloth killing a giant crocodile. Just let it go. It's just telling you let it all go.
In the crocodile's backyard, by the way, like not in a tree, in the water.
Yeah, and the water. Brilliant. Okay. Yes, ominous music and lightning. It's very Cape Fear. I'm not sure if even that orchestral don't comes from Cape Fear itself. I think it does because I heard the Simpsons episode at home the other day. Yeah.
I'm not sure who the composer is or the.
I had them. It was
the music director, but I really enjoyed the music for this film. I thought it was like probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. I felt like it was so consistently good and always like set the like perfect tone. I loved it.
Including the little jungle flutes at the end in the third act. Yeah.
It was
I appreciate those.
Delicious.
Baron, on your machine there, would you be able to look up who did the music? Because they do deserve a shout out.
Okay, let's have a
Um,
look. All
and
cast and crew.
I forgot to write them down.
That's okay.
Missed them
There's a lot of
out.
creatives. I mean, obviously a
There's
lot of creatives on
yeah.
every project, but I feel like there's just like a lot of love that has gone into this.
And it's a tight-knit crew. In Serbia, sorry.
I was going to say the set decoration's amazing. The set decoration people need to be lauded as well.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. Special effects, visual effects, stunts, camera. Wow.
And Sloths are cute.
So the orchestrator of the film is Thor Feinberg or Feinberg, depending on how you pronounce that. Score conductor Dennis Redley. Recording engineer, additional vocals, music supervisor Andrew Gross. Yes. So it looks like it was a bit of a committee. The music was done by committee.
Yeah, cool. And if you've got the set design people there,
set it looked like a proper sorority house. It didn't look like something had been set dressed. Yes. The house looked lived in.
And the way it was shot in the exterior shots as well, because it looked like a Disney palace, the way it was like colorized. There was a bit of a nice colorization, so shout out the post-production people. It's film's a collaborative process, as we all know. Many people involved. It's not just about the director and the leads. So shout out to everyone involved, definitely. Now we cut to M on the couch back at the sorority house, looking at Bree's socials, and the socials kind of look like a mock Instagram, basically, is what they're looking at the whole time. They're all kind of looking at the same sort of thing. And Bree is posing with a variety of wild exotic animals throughout the world, and then bites the bullet in context. Oh, exotic, deal made. Goes to now back to Exotic's home. He goes to get Sloth out of its cage and is slashed to death. Sloth has claimed its second victim. Now, Em arrives at Exotic's home. She finds Sloth and not Exotic. She is then spooked by jungle sounds and then jets. I'm saying it that quickly because that's all that there is. That's pretty much.
That's a really nice car she pulls up in.
I was just going to say, I was like, can we talk about the car for a second?
Go.
It's a GT. It is like, I'm like, where? Like, okay, first of all, she was going to buy this sloth. I assume sloths aren't cheap.
Yeah.
No.
Like, or do you rent a sloth?
I hope not.
I don't know if this was a rent a sloth type of situation. I think he's trying to get rid of that thing. But I'm just like, what kind of wealth do these people have? Obviously enough to just sort of like throw it around everywhere. And be in this very bougie sorority, I guess. But I was like, who is she? No wonder she sort of has no idea about the world that she's living in, because she's just like driving around her little GT like, guess I'll go pick up my sloth.
That makes her even more naive, considering Bree's rich. She's the president. She should kind of not be. But hey, I might be nitpicking. I might be or she could just be naive and ignorant towards how things work in the world.
That's very much how it feels. And then she just sort of she just sort of shows up. It's really dodgy. He's not there. The door is unlocked, and she goes,
"It's a mess. It's a mess inside."
It's crazy. Like there's other animals in cages, obviously. And she's never met a sloth before. She knows nothing. She knows absolutely nothing about sloths. She hasn't even Googled sloths, I don't think.
No.
And she literally just picks. She opens the cage and it's sitting on top of the cage, right? Very ominously.
Yeah. And a smashed up house because there was a fight.
Yeah.
There was a violent fight.
Yeah.
And she just picks it up.
Logic.
She just picks it up. I was like, she's insane. First of all, like she really wants to be president enough that she's just gonna pick up this strange, wild animal and just carry it home in her fancy car.
Yeah.
And again, it gets
in a
worse.
cardboard box.
In a cardboard box. That's not even like. It doesn't
Yeah,
have
like-
like holes in it. It's just
It's like the box
sort of
from Seven. It's like the box from Seven. Yes.
What's in the
But
box?
What's in the
that's because
box?
that's what
What's in the
Bree is
box?
demanding. That's what Bree's demanding once
Yeah.
M brings
Yeah.
the sloth back to the sorority house, and it gets thrown over the banister of the staircase. Yeah. And goes onto the floor, crawls its way out, and everyone instantly falls in love. Of course they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Of
and then
course.
M's popularity instantly rises. This is the beginning of
Yes.
the
So
war
they-
between M and Bree.
They
Yeah.
name this sloth the sorority mascot. That's sort of
Yes.
they're not allowed
Ah,
pets.
pets.
Their sort of
There's the detail.
loophole is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
this sloth is going to be a mascot, and they're going to call it Alpha
Yes.
in the Greek sort of sorority fashion.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Wasn't
They
that
could have
the
come up with a
idea?
better name.
Wasn't the joke? It was a bad joke that like it's cute and slow
Oh.
and cuddly. It's nature's perfect predator. We should call it Alpha.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
like, oh,
okay.
it's like, yeah,
That was their
which I liked.
Justification
Yeah,
for it. Yeah.
I'd have called it Apex.
Apex. Yeah.
Apex is better. No, that's my D&D character's name. The Apex.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A black chick assassin. Yeah, she's cool. Okay. Yeah, so the mascot, yes, and then M declares to the sorority that she's going to run for president. Yeah. The war is on. Cape Fear music plays also at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Because yes, and upstairs we just kind of touched it on there. Dakota and Emma hanging out with the sloth. Madison comes in and pleads with her. You can't keep a sloth here. It's cruel to the sloth. It's not its natural environment. What you're feeding it could be poisonous. Sloth scratch mads. Yeah, the sloth does not like mads from the get. And we go more into that certainly. And Dakota convinces, and M feels guilty, but Dakota convinces, hey, sorority life is better than jungle life, and she uses dogs as an example.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. I did put a note here that just says, listen to your friend.
Literally, her friend is
Mhm.
so level-headed. Also, this is just like, it speaks to her performance, because I just was like, she's amazing. She's being a really great friend. You just have to listen to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
But she's the only one that has any sort of sense, or is like
Pretty
an
much.
objective.
Yeah.
She's just like, oh, this is a wild animal. She was
She-
asking the questions. I guess she's sort of the audience insert in a way, because you're sitting here being like, you don't know how to take care of a sloth? Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? And she's saying that out loud, and I enjoyed that, being like, yes, exactly what she's saying.
Mhm. She's just the lighthouse among the chaos. Yeah,
Yes,
she
absolutely.
really
Yeah.
is actually. Okay, so but is this the point that they named the Sloth Alpha? Now, Sloth is perturbed by this turn of events. I'm guessing that it didn't like Mads. And it decides to look up M's socials on her laptop. Yes, it looks up M's
Sloths
socials.
can use the internet. They can
The
use the
sloth
internet,
can-
apparently.
And operate a mouse, a
With its
keyboard.
three-
Yeah.
like, I love it. I
Yeah.
love this sloth so
And I just leaned back and went, "Oh, righty then."
That's the point. That's the point in the film where you go, okay, now I know what we're watching completely. And I
definite
can let
turning
go.
point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You
Absolutely.
relinquish all control after you see
Yeah.
that sloth
It
pull out
was-
the laptop.
It was this. It's so bad. It's good. Sticker automatically clunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
This is where that starts. Oops, sorry. I was going to say this is where it
Gotcha.
starts to do the swing backwards and forwards between the Disney coming of age film music and the horror music. So there's a very definite shift in the music
Yeah.
from this sort of point onwards.
Nice. Thank you. She at first like what she sees. This is Sloth on M socials. Lots of nice selfies. Blah blah blah. Then she sees the selfie with M and O Exotic. Yeah, because O Exotic, of course, needed credit. Yeah, so they swap tags because that's what grown men and teenage girls do in a mall.
Yeah.
For sloths.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Okay. And then dramatic Cape Fear music plays again. Bree then orders Sarah. Now, this Sarah's kind of like the left hand,
Minion.
person, minion. Thank you, of Bree, and that is played by Sutton Nolan. To dispose of the furry geriatric. Yes, Bree's words, not mine.
So good.
Sarah leaves Alpha outside the sorority house in a storm at night as the party continues inside. Alpha is nearly run over on the road. Now, I tried to write this carefully because things get bonkers. Alpha is nearly ran over on the road and then magically appears in Sarah's bedroom, putting a foreign and illicit substance into her alcoholic drink. Yeah. Now the scene is the scene is lit. The sequence is lit by lightning and punctuated by thunder. Yeah.
Yep.
So and there is Sloth kind of hanging upside down on the ladder leading up to the top bunk bed of Sarah, sort of thing, like it's back in the jungle is the idea, like for those watching, they can see on Baron's screen, but it's looking very menacing and evil though at the same time. Like a Jason or a Michael coming at Sarah.
I did like the hint of skull on the face of the sloth as well. That was nicely done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In the coloring.
Yeah. Again, post-production shout out. Alpha then, got that. Now, yes, and of course, Sarah's done for. Alpha claims her first victim within the house. Bloody claw, as you can see on my screen, raised to dramatic music and lightning again. Yes, in victory. That's very funny.
It's perfect.
It is. M now searches for Alpha in the storm to only find her when she returns back to her room. So she went outside, comes back to the room, and there she's laying down on the bed, if I remember. Yes, and Alpha is looking down on her, kind of rested on top of the bed frame. Yes, on the bed. Headboard. Thank you. Yeah. We've slothed our way. We've crawled our way over into horror now.
There's sort of this beautiful moment where she goes to hug Alpha or something to be like, oh, you were, what happened? Where were you? Blah, blah. And Alpha like sort of puts her arms around Emily and has you can see the like bloodied claw dripping on Emily's shoulder. It's so good.
Yeah. They definitely got a bit of old school hammer horror, like elements coming through for these moments. Definitely, I see what they mean when they're looking to older movies. Definitely. All right, 14 days until the election, and the college is abuzz with rush activities, with Alpha taking part and winning the hearts of all the pledges, of course. Also, people slightly wonder where Sarah is.
But not enough. Enough. They're just like.
Yeah, that becomes a running theme in this movie.
I love this montage. I think this montage is so fun, so great. One of my
who knew that sloths could play dodgeball?
And what kills me is the whistle around the neck.
Yeah,
it's so good. And the catching of the ball and it sort of deflates.
Absolutely, I've got here. M, and during this with the dodgeball, M becomes more popular, gaining mass numbers while Bree eats shit, literally. And and Madison worries for M's humanity and perhaps her old friend.
So I put a note here. Bad woman falls down and lands in poop. Now we all throw our heads back and laugh.
Yes, and M did throw the dodgeball straight at her face, she got her comeuppance moment there.
That is the quote. That is the quote of this movie. Bad woman falls down in poop.
I did take that from George of the Jungle. Sorry.
Oh yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah. Could you make a note of that actually for show notes there, Baron?
What's that?
Bad woman falls down in poop for show notes.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes, I can do that.
Thank you.
We need the minutes of this going.
Yeah.
Right. Madison finds Dakota and Alpha. Okay, we're at the pool. Sunbathing and sculling beers by the pool.
Drinking beer. Using one of its 3 toes to pop that little
sun hat, nice little bikini.
It's got a little bikini. So cute.
Now, Dakota goes off to swim with her moths to the flame, and we've discussed all that before. And Madison goes to take Alpha home. Yeah. She's had enough. This is nonsense. Now, M stops Mads in her tracks, and takes Alpha off her. Alpha throws Mads' cell phone onto the road, and when Mads goes to pick it up, she is hit by a car. It's literally boom, bent down, boom, collision.
I think that's like probably like, not to say this like it is eerie, but I wouldn't say it's scary because it's a sloth and it's sort of hilarious. And not sort of extremely, but that car like coming out of nowhere, that I genuinely like was.
I was unexpected.
I was very much that was a jump scare for me. I was like, oh my God, where'd this car come from? It was insane.
They did not shadow that in any way. It just happened, and it was a shock.
I mean, it's if you're talking about Mean Girls as inspiration, it's very Mean Girls because, and look, Regina George, who gets hit by the bus, she is, I guess, the main antagonist of the film. Madison, not so much. Maybe Alpha's main antagonist currently.
Okay.
But now thinking about that comparison, I'm like, oh yeah, that's very much a nod to Mean Girls when she like they're having like a argument and she walks her out into the road and then she gets hit by a bus.
If people are interested, I've just found my note here. 11 minutes and 45 seconds in, Karen, Gretchen, and Regina can be found in the display of past sisters. That's the Mean Girls reference. 11 minutes and 45 seconds. So the past presidents have the name of the Mean Girls.
There you go.
I love that.
Yeah. This is a love letter film to lots of things. Yeah.
I swear I saw Avril Lavigne somewhere in that, somewhere in the pictures on that wall. I probably made it up, but in my heart, I like to think
that would be amazing. Yeah, that would be amazing. Okay. M goes to the hospital with her and admits that Mads is right. Yeah, mea culpa, and that she will take Alpha home. Back at the house, Alpha is on the rampage once again, just as she's warmed up. Yeah, we are then treated to a psycho shower scene, but this time it's a loofah.
And I think we get 4 or 5 deaths in this little montage, don't we?
Yeah,
so many.
We do. I wasn't going to name them all, but if you want to shout out any.
No, nothing in particular. They were all pretty quick. Like, I don't think we got real good character moments with the deaths. I think they were just deaths.
Yeah. If we haven't, oh, sorry, I was going to say, if we haven't spotlighted it enough, this sloth is not slow.
No, they're faster than you expect.
It's a ninja. It's a ninja. It's a little ninja.
It's so fast, so swift, everything's premeditated.
Apparently, that sloth can teleport.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like Michael Myers or something. Jason more so just appears. Yeah. What was I about to say? No, it's gone. Doesn't matter. Okay, my thing.
Hang on. One thing. My thing at this point is we're coming up to the point in the film where the sloth takes out the one person who actually cares about the sloth. Like M doesn't care about the sloth. The sloth is her pet, and she likes the sloth. But like,
that's a contradiction, isn't it?
Madison actually cares what happens to the sloth.
Yeah.
I think, and it all comes down at thinking about the very important and deep motivations of this sloth, because, and I say that very seriously. It sounded like a joke, but I'm dead serious. Is Alpha's like deepest desire to just fuck shit up?
Yeah, it could be a chaos thing.
Because I can get on board with that. I can get on board, like, she was doing that in the rainforest. She was doing that in the jungle. She was just fucking shit up. It would
justify the Mads M contradiction. It would justify that.
Like, I think she just doesn't want anyone getting in the path of her, like, her slasher thing. And because, maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but we're learning that this sloth is hashtagging posts. Hashtag killer sloth.
It's the best.
Hashtag killer sloth. No one is calling it the killer sloth except itself.
The killer sloth,
So,
wonder.
like, I think Alpha loves it.
That's a
I
really
think
good
Alpha-
point, actually, because what I was going to bring up before, it does do a Joker smile, yeah, on one of the girls, like a Heath
Oh,
Ledger, why so serious
yeah.
Joker smile. And then when you've got the selfies and you think about the Joker in the hospital room, dressed up as a nurse, going, I don't want to reach my goal. I wouldn't want to know what to do with it when I get it. I'm just a mad dog chasing cars, whatever, paraphrasing, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's kind of a little reminiscent of all that, yeah. If I will put that together, yeah. in my mind.
Okay. Yeah.
Just arrived. Just arrived.
This Sloth is in her Joker era because she, you have the going back a little bit here with Oh Exotic. Oh Exotic is like taunting this Sloth. I was like, if there's a villain origin story like more obvious, it would be being in a cage, having things thrown at you and being taunted and then not being given your
Yeah.
anxiety meds.
Yeah.
I would also go crazy. Like I would
And that
lose it.
actually makes the message about animal, trafficking.
Yeah.
It makes the point
Sure.
clearer and better, I think.
It's like, well, two can play this game.
Yeah.
Which I'm obsessed with.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy that I like that we're going in deep into a film like this. It's good. It's good. Okay, now
We take
this
our
is
jobs very seriously.
we do. Okay, now this is my wording. We're at the satanic election night. Yeah. And you guess why I call it satanic.
The cloaks, the candles.
Red robed underground, red lighting. What's it referencing, Baron? Can you think of anything
Well,
that's
I mean,
referencing with this?
Any of a dozen other like university films where there's a secret society, like Skull and Bones, like any of that
It's
sort of
that.
stuff where there's
Totally that.
there's a weird initiation ritual. Yeah, like I don't think it was pitching to any one particular film in particular.
Yeah.
I think it was more of a theme than anything else.
Maybe a little parody on the, sorority, traditions, if you will, because I've heard they do this sort of thing. Yes, and there is the whole Skull and Bones thing. Yeah, but it's not. It looks nice. Yeah, it actually looks nice. Yeah.
No nudity in this film, except for
no.
the sloth.
Yeah, well, but good point. Good point.
Yeah, the
M.
sloth
Rush
is naked the whole time.
Absolutely.
Except for
when
the
it has that
bikini.
little bikini.
Wild and free. And a tiara,
Hashtag
but we'll
sloth-
get to that.
Hashtag sloth boobies. Yeah.
In the notes, thank you. Now,
Okay.
M. Rush is in red robed and resolute just before midnight from the hospital, much to Brianna's chagrin. As the votes are tallied, because it looked like she wasn't going to make it back and Brianna was going to win. Yeah.
Does it seem
now,
to anyone else that was a really sort of a stretched out way of doing that election?
Oh, absolutely.
That just one by one counting out these votes.
Red for
She could have
Emma,
been counting.
white for Brianna.
Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
putting
Flowers.
these flowers into a glass bowl. They could have been counting as people were placing their votes. One could argue, but no, they have it. They do it again.
Yeah, but
Instead
it's ceremonial though, and ceremonial doesn't apply. Let's drag
And
this
look-
out because we think we're fancy.
Yeah. What about sororities and like Greek life in a university context? What about that makes sense? It is so
It's
alien
bizarre,
to
isn't
me.
it? It is
So
bizarre.
I kind of love that because it feels like it's sort of satirizing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have kind of skipped
Have we?
the phones all get taken off the girls and put in a large bowl, and the house mother locks the front door once M gets back just before midnight.
Yes. And does she just get to the door just before the chain's on, or bangs on the door, something like that?
She I think she runs up as the house mother is about to lock the door. Like the door is not locked.
Yeah. The chain's on. Yeah.
And there's also she has, which is probably the most insane part of the movie to me. That's a bold statement, but before Madison gets hit by a car. She's badly injured. She's in the hospital room.
Yeah, that's where we're up to next. Yeah. Like, go ahead.
Oh,
please.
is that next?
But please, go ahead.
Yeah.
If it's next, so go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, and M goes with her to the hospital, and they have this heart-to-heart where M is basically like, "I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you. Like, I've just been focusing on this, and I haven't been focusing on our friendship." And then Madison goes, "It's fine. Just go to the vote, babe. Just go."
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I'm like,
she does, doesn't
that
she?
is crazy. She just goes, "I give you."
Okay.
She's like, literally, she
Oh, dear.
takes her oxygen mask off. She removes her oxygen mask, and she goes, "You can go." That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's literally been hit by a car.
Yeah. It's fine. You've
And-
been concentrating on this sloth that you've got that apparently can pickpocket.
Like, she's the M is the reason that Madison is in the hospital. Like,
Yeah.
we can say that.
It's kind of all
And
her
she's
fault.
like- She's like,
Mm.
"No, go to the little vote. Go to the little vote where you become president of a sorority that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of life or anything." I thought that was so fun. It's like pitched as this really like serious sort of like moment for their friendship.
and I don't
which
want to
I
do it, but
found-
it's also a contradiction. Yeah, it also contradicts
Yeah.
what Mads was saying about taking home, or just go to the election and become one of those people and be all that with the
Yeah,
you
she
know
sort
what
of
I mean?
she compromises. She compromises all of the stuff that she has been saying
Yeah.
to M
Yeah.
is really important, and she goes, "Just go."
Because she
Yeah,
got
you'll be
hit by a
fine.
car, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of
She-
the
she's-
logical chain there. Yeah.
She like her life flashed before her eyes, and she goes, "No,
logical.
maybe M's right. Maybe she should be
Yeah.
president of
Okay.
this
Okay.
sorority."
Yeah. But again,
Mm.
don't look too deep into this.
No, don't pull on the threads.
That's
Don't pull
our
on the
job.
threads.
That's our job.
I loved
Yeah.
like I saying that, loved it. Loved that scene where she took her oxygen
Yes,
mask
that's the
off.
thing. The ridiculousness is enjoyable. The ridiculousness across the board, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, while this vote's going on, yes, that was before there what you were touching on, Scream Queen. We go back to the hospital because Alpha has worked the smartphone and jumps in the sports car. Yeah.
Alpha
Yes, sports
is
car.
driving.
Speeding.
Yeah.
Loving it.
But following the road rules.
Oh,
Oh.
stopping at the traffic light.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's because yes, there's the big party to celebrate M's win. Yeah, and they punctuate that with Dakota on there being the DJ and stop, yeah, on the traffic lights
Oh.
and go, boom. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah, yeah.
editing
Yeah.
kind of fun sequence
Nice
thing.
edit.
That was good.
Because Alpha is also speeding because the cops take chase, yeah. And I'm pretty sure the Sloth actually mouths fuck.
Yep.
Something like that.
100%.
Yeah.
The only thing this the only thing this sloth can't
So
do
stupid.
is die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Like,
It's immortal.
this sloth can do anything
Yeah.
but die. Like it
Barrett.
just
Do you know Johnny the Homicidal Maniac?
I do, yes.
Yeah, it's got to keep the wall wet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's its motivation. Yeah. So we drive up to the hospital. Yeah, gets into the hospital room. Cops are there. We'll get to it. Now, Alpha pulls the plug on Bree's oxygen. Yeah.
Yep.
And then takes a selfie. This is what was alluded to before. Hashtag killer sloth. Hashtag animal
killer
attack.
sloth.
Hashtag last selfie with the caption, what should I do next?
Yeah.
So it's fully embraced and is adept, au fait, down with social media, knows all the lingo and what to
Yeah.
do.
None of the girls have their phones. Very important
'cause
to remember.
They're in the bowl at the feet
you
of
go.
the house
Thank you.
mother.
Thank you. That was an actual
Yes.
plot detail. Thank you.
Mm.
Now Alpha then goes to suffocate Mads with a pillow until a nurse intervenes. Is Mads dead? Question. Back at the house, the dead bodies of the sisters are finally beginning to be discovered as trust showers take place, and M discovers that Alpha is in fact a cold-blooded killer. This all happens pretty quickly.
How did no one outside the house find the dead body wrapped in the sleeping bag in the garden?
Which Alpha lifts up with its arms on top of the bridge like it's Brock Lesnar,
And then
just throws it on.
That was that I forgot about that one, but that was a good one. The sleeping bag.
Yeah, you got to see that even just for the
Zipping.
kill scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
Bree and M are both okay. This is when Bree and M actually kind of join forces because they are in the bathroom freaking out. Sloths are not slow. The grand realization has been made. They leave the bathroom with the top of a toilet cistern and an air freshener. I'll leave it to you to figure out who's got what.
Nice improvised weapons.
Yep, absolutely. Jungle flutes are heard, as I mentioned before in the soundtrack, as they go into the dark, house. Alpha attacks. M whacks Alpha out.
At that
Please.
point,
Did I miss something?
I've got here really nice Bond villain reveal with the revolving chair. Like Alpha's on a revolving chair and spins around.
That's yeah.
It's so
Just
good.
laying it on thick now.
It's so good. I love that sloth. I love that sloth. I know that the message is not to go out and get yourself a sloth, but God,
I did.
Oh,
This is live.
you have
This
one?
is live behind me. That's live behind me.
You're in the Panama Canal as we speak.
Yeah. Wi-Fi is great, apparently.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Shout out to the puppeteers. Yeah, fantastic job actually, because the sloth looks great throughout. Now, yes, Bree Alpha jumps, Bree whacks cistern out the window, smacks Alpha out the window with the cistern.
With the
So seen on
lid.
you're seen on the lawn, broken glass. It's okay, Bree. Alpha is dead because Bree went back into the bathroom. Yeah. Bree wasn't having a bar of it. Now downstairs, Alpha is not dead. M sees this and continues to search for Dakota's possible gun. They believe Dakota may have a gun because Dad was an NRA gun nut.
I think I remember them saying IRA.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, that's different. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
I think they meant NRA, but I think they said IRA.
Oops. Oops.
I may be going mental.
Dakota,
No, because I remember that too. I think it might be one of the other girls. It might be because there's this other sort of minion of Bree who
that's
is
who
supposed
they
to
mention at first. That's who they mention at
Oh,
first, but
okay.
then Bree goes, no, Dakota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
just to clarify for our listeners who don't know and me who's forgot, what does NRA stand for?
National Rifle Association.
And that's the American, and IRA is the Irish, yeah?
The Irish Republican Association, which are basically terrorist is such a strong word, but terrorists.
That's a whole thing.
Freedom
it's a
fighters.
Whole thing.
Everybody's terrorist is someone else's freedom fighter, basically.
Yeah. They have weapons, both bodies, both organizations. Let's just say that. So it's a bit of a mistake there because Dakota is not Irish.
No,
not at all. Yeah,
no.
But oh well.
She isn't even doing that weird American version of an Irish accent. So no.
Okay, but they're going to search. All said and done, they're going to search for Dakota's possible gun. Yes. Now, downstairs, the trust showers ensue. They continue until Alpha electrocutes almost all of them. Turns up the hot water first on one and then electrocutes all of them, to be specific.
So, Sloth can do plumbing and electrician work.
The Sloth's just a full-blown serial killer by this stage.
I think the Sloth might be MacGyver.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sure in the jungle,
Gacy.
in the jungle, they would have to improvise a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
True. Now, M and Alpha continue to battle throughout the house. House mother is drinking alone. Alpha summons M to her. Now this is a nice little spooky scene. I quite appreciated this scene.
We get the Shining
reference
homage here with the here's Slothy through the door and
It's an axe, right? I think it's an axe.
This is exactly what I was about to say. Yeah, the claw through replacing the axe. Yes, and doing the nice. And it's all very quiet. She's a little spotlight of M near the window. Yeah, black all around. Nice little kind of childhood nightmare lighting, if you will. And then the Sloth comes through with the claw and just does one claw. Come to me. Yeah.
Really they come hither.
They come hither. Summoning. And then just drops the phone with the killer Sloth selfie of her and Mads on the floor. Eat that.
Yeah.
It's messing with the minds now. It's also messing with the mind now. M is naturally distraught. Yeah. And as House Mother continues to drink alone. Now, House Mother then searches the house, seeking company. Girls, where are you? What's happened here? Only to find Alpha alone in a seemingly empty room, just standing. Yeah.
Oh, you missed one. Yes? You missed one thing. The alcohol pours into the bowl that all the phones are in, definitely killing all of the phones.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Breaking.
Okay. That's a nice character detail for House Mother, definitely, especially when it comes to her reveal, her life story reveal, which we are coming up close to. But first, she must battle. She must battle Alpha first, yes. And you see, like they're both standing, left to right, classic shootout, Western shootout frame. Alpha's standing 1.5 to on the hind legs. I think it's the first time you see it fully on its hind legs. Yeah. And I'm not getting the quite exact beat for beat, but Alpha does a little capoeira jig. House Mother sees the dead bodies. Alpha does a little capoeira jig. Jungle music plays. Yeah, come at me, bro. And then I think it's a phasing pedal bat, like they used in Dazed and Confused. Hazing bat,
that was my favorite.
and then reciting, hey, you ugly, you ugly.
What did I
Beats
put? I put a note here. Being a killer sloth, that's a paddling.
That's a peddling. I get you. But beats the living crap out of Alpha with this bat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's got some stuff to work through. Yeah, she's taken stuff out on Alpha. Yeah, absolutely. Ugly. Hey, yes. House mother is fatally wounded though by the altercation. And then it comes to her and M sitting in the room. M thinks she's about to die, comforting her. She tells her a life story within this sorority. Yeah, she admits that she has stayed,
and it's long.
And it's long.
Yeah,
this is maybe a little too long. Just that's a little critique for me. You're pushing the serious tone, tragic tone a little bit much in this. That's just me. What do you guys reckon?
I would agree.
It was long. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I thought it was fun. Like I thought it was funny, but I think it definitely could be.
Yeah.
More condensed. For sure.
She didn't need to be as sad as she was. I think they made her character a very sad character, and they didn't need to make it quite as sad.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
No,
that's fair. Yeah. The 93 minutes could have been 90 without all of this scene. She admits that she stayed all of these years in the vain hope of being voted president. She wasn't president in the past.
Yeah.
Was she? She's never been president.
She wasn't. No.
Yeah.
No.
And then M sees the ghost of her presidential future. Yeah, to do a little Dickens kind of, analogy there. Because she's just like, well, you should have gone. Well, I had a law degree. Well, you should have definitely used that.
Yeah.
And if you look at her face, it's like, yeah, I don't want to turn out like this. Sorry you're dying, but fuck this.
Yeah.
And again, maybe not so sad with House Mother's character there. Give me a sec. Yeah, and then she gives him, be the leader you truly are. Yeah, be your true self, be the leader you were truly born to be, whatever it is, paraphrasing, before this speech, before sighing her last breath. Okay, 1 sec. Now, we cut to Tyler sitting at home with this laptop, played by Andrew Horton.
Really nice mirror phone transition as well. I really like that.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. They do a couple of things with screens there, which I think you're talking about. It comes up in a sec. Tyler, Andrew Horton, the self-proclaimed neglected boyfriend. If you remember, he was pissed off at the Sloth getting all the attention.
Oh my God, I forgot that. He's like, oh, well, now my girlfriend's more interested in the Sloth than me, and he crushes the red Solo cup.
Yeah. I didn't even want to talk about him in this film until this moment. Yeah, well, we have to mention him.
Well, he did get kicked in the nuts twice in very short succession at the start of the film.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah. And that comes back. Yeah. So he's the punching bag.
Yeah.
In the sequel, he's gonna be the killer.
Like a Scream thing, wearing a sloth mask.
Yeah, he's gonna be a copycat.
Who's your favorite
#killer? Killer Sloth.
Fuck cocaine beer. Right. Yes. Self-proclaimed neglected boyfriend of M discovers the killer sloth selfie. Yeah. He's sending messages to M and then comes across, the killer sloth selfie. And he freaks out, what the hell is this? And then there's that screen work, the doubling of the screen work, the reflections with M is taking a long, hard look in the mirror, and there's social media overlays, and then opens up the window. Yeah, so there's a nice kind of transition there, definitely. Excuse me. She steals her reserve and rushes into the hallway with the deceased HM's paddling bat and almost takes Ty's head off in the process with it. Yeah. She takes a swing, almost misses him. Now, the two of them meet up with the trust shower's only living survivor, the now battle-ready Dakota, katana in hand.
And together, like hair just...
Yeah, wild hair. Black battle. Yeah. Together, they take off after Alpha. Excuse me. We are up to the final battle, if you will, Act 3. Now, most notable in this was the katana fight between Dakota and Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moves, some of those moves that Sloth was pulling off, dodging their blade. True ninja.
Sloth's a samurai now, apparently.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, this climaxes, if I have this correct, with Mads in full hospital garb, including the stand with the bag thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the hallway, because they're about to be taken out by Alpha, who now has the katana at the end of the fight. Yeah,
Yes.
and Asian music play, the samurai music plays, and shoots it. Yeah, because Mads made it out of the hospital on the bus. It doesn't fit in the car anyway.
Uber.
Uber.
Uber, like Uber large, like a maxi taxi. No, it was a
There
maxi
we
taxi.
go.
It's a
There
maxi
we
taxi.
go.
Yeah.
It's a
There we
maxi
go.
taxi.
Just had to think about it. Okay. Okay. Shoots Alpha with a highly coveted gun. I'm assuming.
Surely it's dead now.
Surely
it's dead
You-
now.
This
Dun,
Sloth
dun,
should have
dun.
died 10 times
Oh, good
over
God,
before
yes.
this
Yeah,
point.
Yes. Yeah.
I
It's
did put a note
tiny.
here. I put a note here that says, "Is this Sloth Jason Voorhees?"
Well, on that note,
Yes.
Baron. Yeah, Scream Queen. One of the motivations behind this film is they want to create a new horror icon. Yeah. So there's
Nice.
if this does well, it's a coming back.
Yeah,
The Sloth will
Oh.
return. Alpha will
Alpha.
return. Yeah.
Alpha's back. Alpha will come back.
I love it. I'm here for it. Absolutely. Okay. Now the posse goes to leave the house, and M declares that she will stay to face, one last stand with Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
To which Tyler responds, "But it's a Slotherhouse."
Yeah, I noted here. Did
Yeah.
he just say the name of the film?
And then everyone else takes a moment and then just groans.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed that. M returns inside.
Thank God Tyler was there. Thank God he was there.
It justifies him being in the film. Yeah. You earned your paycheck there. M returns inside to find Bree held captive by Alpha, wearing a tiara and sitting on Bree's shoulders with its claws securely clamped on her throat, right?
So there's a reference there, I think, to Ratatouille.
Yes, it is.
But just prior to that, there's a Star Wars reference. So when Tyler says "I love you," M says "I know," which is the Princess Leia Han Solo thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course it is. And
That was
before
good.
I forget, Bree on the staircase when M first brings Alpha home. What's in the box? I reckon it is. I reckon it is.
Of course. But now we're at the Ratatouille reference with Alpha wearing the tiara.
Yes.
Yeah.
And M announces, "That's my tiara." Didn't say bitch, just me. Felt she could have thrown in a bitch there. Would have been justified.
Yeah.
Because she's become badass, kick-ass at this stage. She is now the final girl. Yeah.
That's what, okay.
Mhm.
Sorry. My bone to pick, not with the film. I like, this is not a film issue. This is just an Emily issue for me. She hasn't earned final girl for me personally.
If anyone has, Brianna has.
Brianna, yes, or Madison, because she literally got hit by a car.
I'm just being technical, just to say. I'm just being
absolutely.
technical. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, and she is the final girl in this film, but I don't know if she deserves it. I don't like.
Yeah,
she doesn't get. She shouldn't get to kill this Sloth. She shouldn't get to draw the last blow, whatever, because she's the one. She's been very irresponsible. She's been very irresponsible with this Sloth.
Oh,
I don't think
she's a numpty. You know how I use that word at work there?
Yeah.
She's
a
a
numpty.
No, it's
Dakota. Dakota is the jock.
Yeah.
For types within this type of film, for the Breakfast Club types. Yeah.
Then why is Tyler?
Yeah,
why
yeah,
is Tyler there then?
No.
To say it's a Slotherhouse, Baron.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Tyler's. Yeah.
I
Maybe
can't see
he's
him
the comedy sidekick.
because he gets getting whacked almost getting whacked. He gets whacked in the nuts, almost gets whacked in the head.
Yeah, Dakota's the jock. Okay.
Yeah.
Cultural punching bag. dumb white male.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the film definitely fulfills both the Mako Mori and Bechdel tests. So
Absolutely.
Show notes, because I would like to put up the full descriptions of both of these tests on the page. Please,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Also,
Because we discuss these a lot. Yeah, this become a
this
thing.
is
Yeah.
this is a feminist movie. The killer.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Yeah, please.
Alpha is a very capable woman, Sloth. Like it's clear. It's the same with Cocaine Bear. I think I saw a Letterboxd review actually. Let me read it verbatim.
This film is
but
being compared to already Cocaine Bear a lot. Like,
Yes.
what's better? Who did it better? Da da da.
but you know,
This
they're
movie did it better for me.
they're two. I haven't seen Cocaine Bear, to be fair, but
it's really good.
Really? Okay.
they've picked
Let's
two
do it.
feminist.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's discuss.
I also improvised with one of the motion capture guys that was the bear. So
Drop.
Wow.
in New Zealand, So he's a New Zealander.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This person on Letterboxd, James smiley face, is first we got the Cocaine Bear being a female, and then we got the Killer Sloth also being a female. 2023 best year for cinema in history. So I think that says it all.
I love your opinion. It's just, yeah. It's a great, wild opinion, definitely. Yeah, no, it's becoming a thing. But let's touch on that again after. Yeah. But I agree. A feminist film because she's explicitly referred to as she, notably.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a noted fashion throughout this movie, definitely. Em announces that's my tiara. Em and Alpha fight, and Emma shoots Alpha with the gun. Yeah. If you want to see beat by beat, blow by blow. Sorry, after you, Baron.
It's okay. It didn't work before, so shooting Alpha now will definitely work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Well, I'm sorry to say, Baron, M goes to finish Alpha off, and Alpha, and it's the most touching moment of the film. I mean, let's reference E.T. out the yazoo, points to the picture of the Panama Canal, which happens to be mounted on the wall of the sorority house.
Yeah. For reasons?
Maybe they put it up post Alpha.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. And moans in a pathetic fashion. Actually points. Don't forget the point for the reference is very important. Home. Okay. All right. Now.
Alpha phone home.
Now this is the denouement, moi. You know that French word. Thank you. The OG trio of M, Mads, and Dakota have created Fletch. I forget the abbreviation. I don't know if you have it there, Baron.
Fetch.
Fetch.
That's a Mean Girls reference.
It's a Mean Girls reference as well. Stop trying to make Fetch happen.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay, sorry. I have seen the movie once a long time ago.
For Jean, so the one of the minions of the sort of supreme queen of the high school, it keeps trying to say like, oh my god, that's so fetch, as in like that's so cool, and she keeps going, stop trying to make fetch happen, it's never gonna happen, and then they make fetch happen at the end of this movie, so
which is amazing.
Very good.
Well, just while we're on it, terrible memory, forgive me if I've forgotten that I've asked you at work, have you seen Heathers?
Yes. I love it. One of my faves.
Hang on, are you talking about the movie or the recent TV series?
Movie.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Just
The
checking. The TV series wasn't great.
The show is horrific. It is horrific.
Yeah.
Sorry to all involved.
No, I'm just thinking.
No.
Heather's Mean Girl episode comparison or conversation, perhaps.
Heather's is horrific.
What's that?
Yeah, Heather's had.
Totally.
Easily.
Anyway, we'll discuss offline. Sorry, just thinking aloud. Okay. They've created.
Hang on, if you're going to do that, we want to add.
Yeah.
I was going to say you want to add pump up the volume to that sort of trilogy.
Okay. I'll ask you why off air.
It's okay. I'm just throwing it out there
because I've seen it. I just can't think why.
I haven't.
Off the cuff. All right.
I love my dead gay son is a direct quote. So yeah, it's
I thought, isn't that from Heathers?
no, oh, maybe I've got it
Yeah,
wrong.
it is. No, totally it
It
is. Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I've seen it recently. It's the dad with one of the football jocks. Yeah, is at
The two football jocks,
green,
they
like, feudum,
die
yeah,
and they
100%.
write them
Yeah.
this letter.
Yeah, I think I've got the quote
Yeah.
wrong.
Okay, all good. all
Because
good,
in the
all good.
Keep moving
musical
on.
for Heathers. Yes, anyway, sorry.
Moving on, I've got the quote wrong. Sorry, that's on me. But no, Pump Up the Volume would fit with those three.
Okay, okay, cool. We'll discuss. I'm down. I'm keen. All right,
Yeah.
so we have the OG trio of M, Mads, and Dakota. This is outside, nice and sunny, Disney Palace coloring. They've got a little stand going for Fetch, a charity fighting for animal rights as sisters of the Slotherhouse. Yes, it is now called Slotherhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bree appears. They are all friends. Selfie is taken, and all is well. The
Yep.
end.
Everything's
Pretty
great.
much. Yep.
No PTSD at all.
Am I okay, does the tiara, yes, talking about improvised weapons,
Mm-hmm.
does she shove she flips it upside down, she shoves it into
Jams it into Alpha's head.
Alpha's
That's
head,
Bree
but it
does that,
doesn't kill
yes?
Alpha.
Does Bree do that or M?
Yeah.
Yes, it is Bree, you're right.
Yeah.
Bree.
Okay. Yeah.
But that doesn't kill Alpha?
No.
Nothing kills Alpha.
No,
Because,
it's true. That's true. The only thing that she can't do is die.
There's
Because
a
we have
pool
the
of blood
credits.
under Alpha's head with the
And we have the
Yeah.
credits.
and
Yeah,
There we
but-
go.
unless there's dozens of the damn things just sort of floating around that city, and
Wow.
every time they kill one, another one steps in.
They
well,
spawn.
we must take note of the fact that Alpha does roll away at the end. Yes, from M.
Yeah.
We don't see
Yeah.
Alpha die. We do
Yeah.
see another Alpha-looking
Okay.
sloth back at the Panama Canal
Yeah.
with a whole bunch of tourists and a young kid
Mm-hmm.
who's disinterested in the tour, but very interested with her phone of Alpha. I'm going to say it. Yeah, I reckon there's going to be a sequel. They want to create a horror
Yeah.
icon if this does well. Yeah, and it's on the tree, hanging,
Yeah.
smiling. Yeah. And then there's a whole bunch of memes and such, a lot of
And we get
gifs
the
or
callback
whatever
'cause the
throughout
girl-
the credits.
Yeah.
Sorry, Baron?
We get the callback to the start of the film there because the girl approaches the water. The girl approaches the water, and there's the
Exactly.
crocodile, and the
Yeah.
tour guide goes, "No, look out! There's a crocodile, very
That's-
dangerous."
Yes.
And he whispers to it.
Yeah.
in Spanish or Portuguese, and then it just goes away. That's right.
And this sloth, Alpha, has a
Oh,
theme song. They have written a theme
At
song
the
There's a
very
sloth
end.
theme, yeah.
Yeah.
at the very
Yeah.
end in the
That's a
credits.
banger too.
And it's a great song. And they have
Yeah,
a
it's a
bunch of yeah, like you said,
Ooh.
gifs, and like the song is playing. It is like if they're trying to make a horror icon, like they're well on their way. Like it was very
They've
good.
got a formula. They've got a formula and they're working it, which is really good.
Definitely. Baron, can you put down our theme song? I want to see if we can find it and post it.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
that'd be
okay,
nice
theme
promo
song.
material for it. Definitely watch
Uh,
all the way end. To watch through the
yes.
credits. There's a whole bunch of cool,
Yeah.
GIF memes
Yeah.
slash gifs and whatnot. Yeah, of propaganda material of Sloth as the mascot, Alpha as the mascot. Yeah,
Yeah.
in a very internet
well,
fashion. Mm-hmm.
Well, that brings us nicely to the end of the film. So I have the
Please.
Baron's cryptozoology corner. So because we get absolutely no exposition on what happened with Alpha to create Alpha into
Nice.
the killing machine that she is. So what do we think? Is it toxic waste affected, genetically engineered? Does Alpha have a serial killer's soul or spirit? Is it the next step in sloth evolution? Has Alpha's fight or flight response just gone to fight and fight response? What do we think?
I like the idea that this is the next evolution of the sloths. Like this is the new fleet. They've sort of, I guess, they've been such a prime target of predators because they're
And poachers
slow
stuff.
and poachers
Yeah.
because they're
Sorry,
slow and they can't defend themselves. They just like chew food and hang out in trees, that they've sort of developed this predator like coping skills.
Yeah.
And just have become these like killing machines.
Yeah. So in nature, the sloth sleeps the second longest out of the day. It sleeps up to 20 hours a day, and then it wakes to toilet
What a
and
life.
eat, and then it goes
What a
back to
life.
sleep. Do you know what the only other creature in the world is that sleeps longer per day?
An American. Sorry.
Teenager. No, it's the koala. The koala will sleep up to 22
okay.
There
hours
you
a
go.
day.
I think there are killer koala
yes.
movies, aren't there? There must be.
Well, you've got like the drop bear.
Like an
Yeah, the
Ozploitation
drop bear.
movie. Yeah.
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 Oh, I do have a film I've been working on for a very long time called Bearachnid.
Bear spider?
And
Spider bear?
yeah, but I was thinking koala bear rather than bear.
That's
Okay.
right.
And they live in trees, and yeah. So Bearachnid.
It's up on the roof, then its head just turns around and looks at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. But copyright,
Yes.
copyright, all that sort of thing. So the sloth in this is the three-toed sloth, also known as the
Yes.
three-fingered sloth. The scientific name for this sloth seen here is Variegatus, or its common name being brown-throated three-toed sloth that can be found in Central America and much of North and Central South America, from Honduras through Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Eastern Peru, Bolivia, and Brazil. They don't have the pronounced skull markings that alpha has. And there is no way known it would survive outside of captivity where it was living.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
So definitely a cryptid.
Drinking beer.
Definitely drinking beer, wearing bikinis, playing dodgeball, driving fast cars.
Driving fast cars.
yeah. So, what do you reckon, Baron?
So
In
look,
terms of how the sloth came
I-
to be.
I'm very fond of Next Step in Evolution as well.
Okay.
With a side of toxic waste affected.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
But I made some notes throughout that confused me about sloths. So let me go here. Apparently, sloths like kindness. The sloth can use the internet. Sloths can poison people. They can teleport. They can blow whistles. They can play dodgeball. They can suntan, they can drink beer and open the beers themselves. They can pickpocket.
Good taste in clothing, fashionistas.
Good taste in clothing. Yeah. They can use GPS. They can steal cars. They can follow the road rules. They can do car chases. They can work complex medical equipment. They can take selfies.
And and are up with social media's, norms and such.
They know they're on
hashtags.
Yeah, hashtags. They're electricians, they're plumbers, and they can do parkour.
I thought
and capoeira, because that was
Capoeira,
about to bust out into capoeira fighting moves.
is this not common knowledge? I thought everyone knew this about sloths.
I didn't know.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Must
So
just
they're
be me.
samurais. Yeah, they're samurais as well. They may be Jason Voorhees, and they can work people like they're a rat in Ratatouille.
Absolutely, and they're contemporary, modern spree killers as well,
This
because
is-
you've got the social media hashtagging there, just like the movie Spree. They know how to mess psychologically with people. They understand what a good jump scare is. They know about the classic horrors like Psycho and how to bring their own, their own versions to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so I'm going with film buffs serial killer that possessed sloth that wants to come to the house, because sororities are perfect breeding grounds for, slasher movies perpetrated by serial killers a lot of the time, i.e. the 80s. And so I'm just going to throw that in there for good measure.
Yeah, I agree. I do like the idea that this sloth is just insane. This sloth is just like the anomaly.
Yeah.
And just like fucks shit up, just like left and right.
Yeah.
Just wants to. I mean, the Gremlins, I feel like, is an obvious comparison as well. Like, you think about the Gremlins, they're like you said last episode, they're agents of chaos, and I just like the idea that Alpha is just an agent of chaos, just like just wreaking havoc on society, but with no real reason. I don't think she needs a reason. She's a modern woman.
Yeah.
She's very capable. She
So
can
do you
whatever
think
she
we'll
wants
find
to.
out more in the sequel?
I hope so.
Yeah, the origin story. Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of need an origin story. Yeah. So there you go.
A
Good
prequel.
Hugh and Co.
A prequel.
Prequel. Yes, we need a
Yeah.
prequel. Yeah. Send it through. We'll promote it. We'll review it
Or
again.
maybe
I'm
I
an
was
actor.
gonna
Put me
say-
in it. We'll all do acting.
Yeah.
Put us in it.
We'll go to
I'll
Serbia.
Yeah.
I'll play the sloth girlfriend, please.
Nice. But I really enjoyed it. Should we rate this now?
We have-
Yes, we're up
Do
to
we have
ratings. Yes,
any? No.
we'll do ratings, then we'll do plugs, shout outs, if any, and what's coming next, and
Okay.
what we're up to, and we go from there. Yeah.
Okay.
So ratings. Who wants to go first?
Look, I seem to have the absolute most positivity about this film. So look, I'm going straight to number 5 to 5. So
Evil.
evil. Straight to evil.
Wow.
Straight to evil. Like
Okay, cool.
It's like a 4.9. The only thing, my only quibble with the film is I would like to have known more about the origin of Alpha, but it only takes like 0.1 of a point off for me. So yeah, a hair's breadth from evil.
All right, Scream Queen.
This is really tricky. Actually, I haven't thought much about it. Like, obviously, I've thought about how I feel about this film, but I really enjoyed it. I think it is so fun. I think we all know how I feel about Alpha. At this point, I want one. But there were a few characters that I found a little bit, as Baron said, OTT, which you're gonna get in a campy horror film, but I feel like there are a few stereotypes that were being played into that I think we can probably depart from.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Popcorn might touch on this in a second, but you talked about sort of the tonal shifting was a little bit. There are a few moments where it got a little bit serious, a little bit coming of age, that it sort of forgot that it was this satirical horror comedy, and when it came back to the satire and the silly, it felt a little bit like, are they sure what direction they want to go with like what they're trying to say? I feel like what they were trying to say was a little bit confusing, because I feel like this movie doesn't really need to say anything except this sloth slays.
I agree.
Kicks ass.
Yeah. So that's how I feel. I feel like it doesn't need a message, even though it feels like it's trying to get a message across, which is fine. People have things to say. But I feel like it just needs to embrace the fact that it's just like this ridiculous, stupid idea, and this like Alpha is like the gem of this movie, and that's really where the focus should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But in saying that, really enjoyed it. Was laughing a lot, like gasping at every turn. So I would say probably like a 3.94, between a 3.9 and a 4.2 for me.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Sure.
I don't know how else to rate it.
You can rate it however you like. You like. Absolutely. Definitely. Still pretty damn good popcorn at the end of the day.
Delicious. Yeah. I'd eat it.
Yeah. Okay. It's a lot to this film for such a simple, ridiculous film. Yeah, there really is. First of all, again, shout out to Holdfast Public Relations for giving this opportunity to spread awareness about this film, to be able to watch it early, and to enjoy it and discuss and critique it. And and overall, to say thank you. We did enjoy it, and more than happy to promote this on our platform. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. I think
and if anyone else would like to, hey, send it through.
Yeah,
definitely.
we're right here.
Yep. Now, Yeah, definitely. Now this is an interesting film for me because I'm not so bad. It's good, trashy horror film, if I may, guy. A lot of the time, I'm not, to be honest. Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes something to be lots and lots of fun, like Slotherhouse and like Chucky. So there are definite examples, but I can, to be straight up, I can be kind of unforgiving when it gets too schlocky. Yeah, I can kind of get
Okay.
pulled out
Sure.
of it. Yeah. This is an example of a film that mostly is so ridiculous, so entertaining. I'm drawn in, and I just let go. That I myself can let go of my critical mind and just let go and enjoy a ridiculous, fun, blood-fueled romp. Now, but there is a bit of an imbalance with what you were saying. I do agree with what they're trying to say and show. I think I agree with what you were saying there, Scream Queen, that yes, I mean, they're creating a new horror icon. You have created a new horror icon, in my opinion. Run with that. That's all you need to do. But if you want to, and of course it's your right to, if you want to put messages in there, make sure the character motivations and relationships, the dynamics are
Are clear.
solid. Yeah.
Yes.
And that way your messaging is going to make more sense. You don't need to push it so much in certain scenes because you're worried you haven't said this enough beforehand. I thought maybe there was a little bit of that. Oh, we should get this in here before the film runs out, before the plot runs out. Maybe I'm just speculating. But I think that would create an overall balance between a film with a definite message and a film that's just fucking fun.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, and because of that imbalance, but no, because of the fact that there is the imbalance, yes, but because it's also super fun, definitely recommend it. I'm going to give it a 3.5. Yeah, it's very satisfying popcorn. That's what that means. Yeah. Won't say it's delicious yet. I'm looking forward to see what you do next. Yeah, I'll buy the popcorn again. But for now, 3.5, very satisfying. Yeah. Yeah.
Did it need a werewolf?
Did it need a werewolf?
No,
Not-
I'm
not
gonna say
yet.
no.
Not
I
yet.
didn't think it did. I didn't think it did. No.
If
This
it
is
builds
the
up its
first time I've
abilities, myth,
said-
lore, absolutely. Bring it in. Why not?
Maybe Alpha needs to get. Maybe it is a werewolf type situation.
Alpha versus
Alpha.
Wolf Cop.
Oh my gosh. Alpha versus Cocaine Bear.
That's
Yeah.
I think that's the contemporary. Yeah.
I
Battle
think
versus we need.
you sort of hit the nail on the head, Baron, when you said that I think it could have benefited from a higher rating, like an MA or an R. I think
a couple of the kills could have been more bloody. I'm not necessarily talking about that. Doesn't need to be swearing, doesn't need to be nudity, doesn't need to be sex, but a bit more gore would have been really nice.
For sure. Yeah.
And lingering on a couple of deaths in a more slashery kind of way would have definitely added to this.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
But I understand that they got the rating they did, and they worked with what they could. So, I mean, they did pack an awful lot into a PG-13 that you wouldn't necessarily normally see in a PG-13.
That is true. And 93 minutes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where this trend goes, because I know Meth Gator is in the works, or Gator Meth, whatever it's called.
There's a bunch of those. There's a bunch of those. There's Meth Gator. I think I saw Crackaconda or something. Like there's a bunch of them that are coming out. Like there are people that are definitely trying to ride the coattails of the Cocaine Bear, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's going to get wilder because we had the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie. I think I've mentioned it before. That they've got Bambi and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs coming, the horror versions. So
yeah.
All these kind of
I'm here for it.
Properties being turned into ridiculous horror shows. Yeah, I'm here for it, absolutely. Anyone want to do any shout outs, plugs, that sort of thing? I'll just do the requisite shout out to Evil Corp. Sorry about the mix up, Kate. We'll be there next year. We'll be back next year, basically. It's just too crazy and stupid at this time of the year. We'll be back at this the maze soon. So certainly shout out to you. Shout out to everyone subscribing, yes, and watching and that sort of thing. And thank you for those actually who have been commenting. We're starting to get a little bit more engagement going on. So keep it up. We are here for it.
Yeah.
Screen Queen, what's going on with you?
Not a lot. Not a lot. I'm prepping to leave for Japan in a couple weeks.
Yes.
So that's very exciting. But other than I don't really have anything to plug other than
So
have
you're
I
going
was
to be
gonna
on
say
break. We're going to be on break as a trio until you get back from Japan, which is very exciting, very cool. Definitely take
but
some cool photos of spooky
I
macabre stuff. Whatever you
I
want to do
will.
to take,
Are you going
get
to
the
are you
footage.
going to Shinjuku at all? Are you going to Shinjuku
Yes.
in
I
Tokyo?
think so. Yes.
There's a spectacular restaurant there called the Kriston Cafe, and it is
Okay.
Catholic themed. And it
Mm.
is all kinds of cuckoo bananas. When I went there, I had their nachos, which were not made of corn; they were made of puff pastry that had been fried, and I had their deep fried
Delicious.
pizza.
I hate corn chips.
But their deep fried pizza was basically a pizza with all the toppings on it, made into a purse and then dunked into a deep fryer.
What?
So, but the decor is like someone walked through like a bunch of cathedrals and just stole random crap out of the little alcoves on the side and made stuff out of it. It is
Wow.
amazing.
Okay, I'm
Um,
putting that straight on my list.
Yeah, Kriston Cafe. But yeah.
There's also one of the
Shout out
world.
if you want to sponsor us.
Indeed. There's also a near Mount Fuji. I'm not sure exactly where that is in Japan. There's a theme park there. It might be the Mount Fuji theme park. Near there is, I think it's the world's longest scare attraction, the world's longest haunt. Takes over, I think it's about an hour 15 to go through it.
Wow.
Very minimal, very sparse, but people call it one of the spookiest haunts in the world. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm up for it.
On my elbow. Yeah, just so you know.
Oh no, I'll
Yeah.
definitely look into it.
Okay.
It's one thing to watch horror to be immersed in it for an hour. I don't know if I can do it.
And the Japanese do that sort of thing well.
Yeah,
they
And
understand horror very well. Yes.
If you like the Miyazaki films, go to the Totoro Museum. It's kind of cool, but you have to book that one ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of a quick Google search. We've got meth gator, cocaine shark, and it wasn't Crackaconda, it's Crackoon.
I like Crackaconda better.
Yeah, so do I.
Raccoon
But
on crack.
the poster for Crackoon has this insane looking raccoon on the front cover, and it looks amazing. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah.
Wild times ahead.
I've got
Wild
nothing.
times ahead.
I've got nothing in particular to plug. We'll be doing some stuff in the next year with Act React. We'll be doing some stuff in the next year with Improv Queensland. I've got a Star Trek's kind of show in the works for that, which will be an improvised Star Trek show. We'll hear more about when I have more details.
Excellent.
Amazing.
I'm going back to study film. I've decided. Yeah.
Very
Okay.
exciting.
Cool.
That's all I think about, what I want to do at the moment. I'm fine as I am financially with work, so I'm thinking whilst I've got it still available to me, I'm going to go do it and make my own stuff. And
Nice.
that's that. I'll go into details more as time passes by. So I just thought I'd announce that here on the podcast.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Baron, what do you have to say for yourself to sign off this evening?
I'm not as fast as you expect me to be, and I will be right here. I'm not going anywhere near the jungles of Venezuela, just in case that Alpha was a typical example of slotherhood.
Yeah. Screen Queen.
Well, I think I only have one thing to say, which is don't rush. Die slow. Just really gotta highlight that slogan for a second because it's incredible. And it's the holiday season. You just want to take it easy. Take it slow. Alpha should have been slower.
Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. We have a what's coming next. And it's Screen Queen. It's your turn. What do you have for us?
Oh yes, well, so we're continuing our Australian horror watch series, this with a little break for Slotherhouse, of course. So in the new year, we will be back and we will be discussing the Australian film Relic.
Oh,
Yeah, good choice there, Baron.
I've
Good
I've
choice,
only
yeah.
I've only seen it in the last few months, and it is probably one of my favorite films I've seen all year. Big
Fantastic.
fan, so very excited to talk about it.
I have not seen
So-
it, but I've heard very, very good things.
Everyone
from
watch it. Everyone
yeah,
listening to this, watch it in
prominent horror
preparation.
people.
hang on. So not the American one.
No,
No, I
Australia.
know the one you mean,
yeah.
Baron, but this is the Australian one. Yeah, it's the old lady's cult famous, if you will. Cult film
Yes.
famous.
Okay. I've got the poster here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice. Yeah, so you got
Yeah.
plenty
Came
of
out
time to go
in-
watch it before we get back.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
All right. Yeah,
Alright.
that's all for
Yeah,
now.
hashtag Killer Sloth, give us more.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the thing from Tusk? Walrus, yes. So Sloth, yes. Hashtag Sloth, yes.
Yes.
Walrus, Tusk, that movie. Oof.
Oof.
We'll discuss that one day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Uh,
Hmm?
And of course, as always, happy horror days.
Happy
Horror
horror
Days.
days.
Especially, we won't see you till next year. Happy New Year. Happy horror days and
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Happy
May the-
new Scream. Happy
Oh,
new.
happy
There's
new
got to be a
s-
thing.
yeah.
Happy new
Happy
Happy new
Scream.
Scream.
We'll
Yeah.
workshop it.
We'll
We'll
workshop
let you
it.
know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy New Fear. Happy New
Happy New
Fear.
Of
Fear.
course, happy horror days and Happy New Year.
New fear.
And a new year is a new fear for me personally. All right. See you later.
Good night.